Okay, so we are now on day two. Today, what we'll be doing basically is we'll be looking at around eight theorems or formulae, you may call it. Okay. Rishikesh, can you hear me properly? Okay. Yeah. So we'll be looking at eight theorems or formulae basically, and these are the basic, you can call them rules if you want, which will be requiring in your calculations. Okay. Okay. People are still coming in. Okay. Hi, Jagrati. Okay, good you came in today. So basically we will be looking at eight theorems or formulas, or you may call it rules or regulations or whatever you want to call them. There are eight of them out of thousands of them. These are the eight which you are going to be requiring for your computation. Okay, everyone please settle down. So I'm sharing the screen now. Okay, so here we are at day two. What we are going to be doing today is basically understanding some formulas, some basic principles, and how to implement them. Okay. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there are only 7, not 8 which are put. So basically these are the 7, what you may call them, formulae or rules or whatever you want to call them, which you are going to be needing for all your analysis. Okay. Now the portion is pretty vast for today, but it is simple. Okay, it's going to take some time, but you are going to understand it's not very complicated. Okay. So now let's go one by one, and I've got some diagrams ahead which will help you to understand. So basically, what I'm saying here is the first one is the result of a planet is shown by its nakshatra lord. Okay, just hear me out. The result of a planet is shown by its nakshatra lord. Quality of the result is shown by the sublord. Okay, let's. I'll show you a slide ahead, and then you'll understand what it means. Now, what I'm trying to say is a planet basically has got these planets associated with them. For the time being, if you want, just look at them one below the other. But they are actually not one below the other, but just for understanding, let us say. So a planet is associated with a Rashi Lord. If you remember yesterday, I told you there are boxes. In the boxes, the Rashi is sprayed. In that, the planets are seated. If you remember yesterday's slide. So the planet is seated in one of the houses, which has got one of the Rashi sprayed over there. And that Rashi has got a Rashi Lord. So planet is associated with some Rashi Lord. Okay. Now these two things, as of now, I'll tell you what they are, but don't tax your brains too much on that. A planet has a nakshatra lord. What does that mean? Nakshatra is basically a constellation of stars, a group of stars, that is a constellation. So a planet there are 27 such nakshatras. Okay, 27. A planet is seated in one of the nakshatras, some nakshatra, whatever it is. That nakshatra has a lord. That is called as a nakshatra lord. Okay. So planet is seated in one of the nakshatras, which has got a nakshatra lord. So that is NL, nakshatra lord. Get these abbreviations now in your head. The nakshatra lord has a sub lord. It's like saying a general, assistant general, whatever, sub general, whatever goes down and down the hierarchy. What let's say. Okay. So a nakshatra lord has a sub lord. Now, if you just think, the planets are moving, right? So today it is in one Rashi. After some time it's going to be in the next Rashi. After some time it's going to go in the next Rashi, so on and so forth, right? So Rashi is not going to be constantly there with the planet. What is going to be with the planet is its nakshatra lord and its sub lord. Okay. So if you look at the right hand side, I have removed this middle guy, the second one, and I have just put this. So the planet, its nakshatra lord and its sub lord, all three together make one combo. Okay, this comes in Krishnamurti Paddhati. Like I told you earlier on, we have merged a lot of techniques to come to this theorem. So in Krishnamurti Paddhati, which is called KP, basically the planet is the source. The result of the planet is given by its nakshatra lord. I'll tell you where to see it also. Don't tax your head. It's very simple. The taste of the result or the quality of the result is given by the sub lord. So basically, this three-tier thing which I put a heart over, basically trying to say that you need to memorize it. This is going to be with you all along. So you better get this fixed in your head. Planet, nakshatra lord, sub-lord. Source, result, quality of result. Planet, planet, planet. Okay, everything is a planet. So basically, the planet which you are talking about, any planet in question, the result of that planet, whatever the planet wants, result it wants to give you, is given by its nakshatra lord, which is also some planet. And the quality of the result is given by the sublord. So if we go one step back, okay, and you see this diagram over here, okay, you can look at the tree as the planet, whichever planet it may be, any planet. Okay. So why do we do that? Let's look over here. If you see this table on the left hand side, can you see my mouse move? Rishikesh, can you see the mouse move? Okay. So basically, let's look at sun. Okay. If you see the columns which are here, first is a planet, second is a sign lord, that is the Rashi lord, in which Rashi it is seated. Third is the star lord. Star lord is the same as nakshatra lord. NL is the same as star lord. Sub-lord and sub-sub-lord. For the time being, forget sub-sub-lord. Just look at these three things which I told you just now. Okay. So if you remember, I told you that a planet has got a Rashi lord which keeps moving, so we forget about it. Planet is seated in a nakshatra which has got a star lord or a nakshatra lord, that is the second guy, and the taste of it is given by the sub-lord. This table is there in the software, so not to worry, you don't have to compute anything. What I want you to see here and understand is basically look at the planet, whichever planet. Let's talk about sun. Look at sun as a tree. So that is a source. It is a source. Tomorrow when you have to find out what is the source of your problem and who is creating that problem and whether that problem or that issue is good or bad, this formula is going to come into you. So if you look at sun, sun is the tree is the source. The fruit, the apple or the fruit or whatever it is the nakshatra lord here. Star lord or nakshatra. Star is nakshatra. The taste of it, whether it's going to be good, bad, ugly, whatever it is indicated by the sub-lord. Okay. So if we go back to the theorem which I had written first, result of a planet is shown by the nakshatra lord. Quality of the result is shown by the sub-lord. I will pause at this point. Any problem at this point, unmute and ask me. But it is basically just a three-tier thing. Do not tax your head beyond this. Just understand that you have to have a three-tier analysis, which is ready-made in the software. You don't have to calculate it. Any planet which is in question, the result of the planet will be given by its NL, Nakshatra Lord. The quality of that, whether it's going to be good, bad, ugly, is given by the sub-lord. Any problem at this point? This is a master theorem which will be with you all throughout. So you better get this in your head. Do not tax your brains beyond this. Okay? I presume you have understood. I'm going ahead. So the first theorem I'm repeating again. Result of a planet is given by the nakshatra lord. That is, planet is the source, nakshatra lord is the result. Quality is given by the sub-lord. Now when it comes to a cusp, if you remember yesterday I told you house is equal to ghar is equal to cusp. It is all the same thing. So the result of a house or the result of a cusp is shown by a cuspal sublord. I'll explain it to you. The cuspal sublord is finally a planet and it all boils down to the above formula. What I mean by that is, if you see this thing, this table is pertaining to the 9 planets. This table on the right is pertaining to the 12 houses. Cusp. House ascendant means 1. Always remember, yesterday I don't know whether I told you. First house is called Lagna or ascendant. Okay. So ascendant से लेके 12th house तक all houses are here and the significations related to that are here. Again same thing. Sign lord, that is the Rashi lord. Star lord, which is the nakshatra lord. Sub lord, sub lord. Forget the sub lord column as of now. So if you have to see who is the, let's say, the result giving, or the you know, what is it called? Result giving planet of, let's say, fourth house. You look at the sublord, cuspal sublord. Result of a cusp is shown by the cuspal sublord. So just look at this column. So fourth house result, or you know, the basic signification is given by the sublord, which is Mercury. Now, like I've written here, cuspal sublord is finally a planet, and the above formula takes over. So Mercury, when you see here, you go to this table, see Mercury over here. Mercury is now the source. Who is going to give the result? The nakshatra lord, which is your star lord, which is again Mercury over here. And the taste of that, whether it's going to be good, bad, ugly, is given by the sublord, which is Saturn. So finally, the fourth house, the, what do you say, destiny, you may want to say, is in the hands of Mercury, which is the source, which is giving, the result is given by again Mercury himself or herself, whatever it is, and quality of the result is given by Saturn. Are we clear on that? I'm repeating, as far as the planet is concerned, three tier thing: planet, nakshatra lord, sublord, source, result, taste of result. Cusp, the house. House, the result is given by the cuspal sublord, sublord column. The cuspal sublord is finally a planet. Go to the other table, find the cuspal sublord ka planet, nakshatra lord, sublord. Finish. As of now, just if you have understood this, stay with it. Are we all clear with that? Anyone wants to say anything? Just unmute yourself. If you don't have anything to say, don't unmute. Then I'll proceed further. Yeah? Okay. Let's go on. Don't worry, it's all very simple. If you just give yourself a little time and you'll be a master in all this. Okay. So this was the first, let's call it a rule. Okay. Second rule is a very simple one. Okay. Now the rest of the ones are very simple. Don't worry. If you found this difficult, the rest of the 12th house from any house negates the activity of that house. That is, the preceding house, now this is my word, okay, it's not from Parashi, kicks the house in front of it. Okay. I like to make it a little dramatic so that it registers in the head. Okay. So the preceding house, preceding means pehle wala, before. Okay. Preceding house kicks the house in front of it. Now let's see an example here. Any house, fourth house, who's hitting it? Third house is hitting it. What I mean by 12th house is, understand here, if this is house number 1, the house before it is 12th house. So any house, the house before it is called the 12th to that house. So if I look at 7, which is the 12th to 7? 6. If I look at 10, which is the 12th to the 10th house? 9th house. Okay. So these are some examples. It's very simple. Fourth house is negated by its 12th house, which is the third house. That is, third house hits at it. First house is negated by the 12th house. Fifth house is negated by the fourth house. Seventh house is negated by the sixth house, so on and so forth. Very simple. Now, how you can draw parallels to this is, seventh house is the house of marriage. Sixth house is the house of divorce. Sixth house is the house of illness or sickness. Fifth house is the house of healing. If you see my chart which I've given you yesterday, fifth house was the house of healing. Sixth house was the house of illness. Okay, so on and so forth. So every house, the house before that, preceding house, hits it. So the house 12th to any house, here 12th from any house negates the activities of the house. That is, the preceding house kicks the house in front of it. All okay with that? Anyone has a problem? Those of whom you are on the screen can put a thumbs up if you have understood. Those who are behind the curtain can just put a thumbs up icon over there. Yeah, very good. Good, wonderful. Take one thing from me, if nothing is difficult, if it is understood in a very simple way. Okay? We try to jump too much, and in the process we fall. Take small steps and you'll go very far. Take it from me. Okay. So we've understood this. Now we go to the third one. 60 degree and 120. If you remember yesterday, I told you two ways of counting houses. One was the Vedic one, where that yellow line went like that, and one was the degree. Just now I'm talking about the degree one. Okay. So if you remember, we had, let me go back to that if you want. Just 1 minute, please. Yeah, sorry. If you remember this, okay, like I had said, from any house to any house, if you have to count by the degree method, I'm talking the second one, this red one, you count 0 because each house is worth 30 degrees. So I have 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, 120 degrees, 150 degrees, 180 degrees, 210 degrees, 240, 270, 300, 330, 360. We finish the 360 now? 30 into 12, 360. Okay. So basically, if I talk of hits, that rule which I'm telling you just now, we are looking at 2 negative hits and 2 positive hits. Okay, which are the major ones. So 90 and 180 are negative hits. 9, nahi, nako, no. 9, no. So 90 and 180 are bad hits. 60 and 120 are good hits. Sixer, chakka mara, sixer mara, 60. 60 and 120 are good hits. Okay. So if I count over here, from this house, let's say a planet is giving a 30 degree, 60 degree hit. So it's giving a good hit to this house. 90 degree, this guy is giving a bad hit to the house. 120 degree, it's giving a good hit to this house. 150 degree is also mild bad. Okay. 150 is also bad. And 180 is the worst possible hit. Okay. How they have arrived at this, don't ask me. I have not done it. It was done 5,000 years ago. Okay. So coming to this theorem, a 60 degree and a 120 degree hit are good hits. 6 chakka mara, sixer mara, 6, 60, 120 are good hits. 9, nahi, no, no, 9, 90, 90 and 180 are bad hits. Out of these two, the potency, 60 is a lesser good hit, 120 is a very good hit. 90 is a lesser bad hit, 180 is a worse hit. If at 180 degrees, they are hitting at each other. It's, I call it ping pong. So they are hitting at each other. Okay. Now going to the Vedic Drishti, if you remember, where we started from 0, 30, 60, 90. Here we started from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you remember, yesterday I taught you counting. So all planets have a seventh aspect. What that means is wherever the planet is seated, any planet will have a 180 degree or seventh or mirror image hit to the seventh house. Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn have got additional drishtis or additional aspects, which is the fourth, seventh, and eighth. Jupiter has got fifth, seventh, and ninth. So over and above seven, this one has got fourth and eighth. Jupiter has got fifth and ninth. Saturn has got over and above seven, third, and tenth. Okay. I have my own way of understanding this, but I don't know. You'll have to find some way of understanding. Basically, how I remember is four. It looks like one solid hit, like a four. So I look at four as a hit, Mar, and 4 and 8 for some reason has got set in my head. So that way I look at it. This 5 and J look the same. Even 9 look the same. So basically, J, Jupiter, 5 and 9. So it gives me that sort of a stroke over there. Okay? Saturday, I basically look at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days as a weekend. So basically 3. And 3 plus 7 obviously comes to 10. So that's how I remember it, but that's a very crude way. If you have some better way, you can follow that. But anyway, these are the aspects. Any problem on this? Either put a thumbs up, or if you have a problem, call out. Very good students, no difficulties. I'm very happy.
What about 30 degrees?
Jagruti, what?
What about 30 degrees? It is good, bad, hit. 30,
30
30.
is also mild good. 30 is mild
Mild
good.
good.
45 is mild. 30 is mild
Okay.
good. 45 is mild bad. But those are
Okay.
very, you won't even consider those.
Okay.
30, 45, you don't need to bother. Somebody asked me, Vijay, who asked
Yeah,
you?
I'm
Somebody there?
Shankar.
Ah,
Can you repeat me
Shankar.
that thing, which you told me that Mars 4, that's what you was explaining last, the slide.
In my slide,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this right hand side is what do you
Ah,
think?
yes, yes, yes. All planet have 7 aspects.
Let me go back to, let me go here. Okay. I'll just very quickly go over this and you'll understand it. If you remember yesterday, Shankar, I told you that there are two types of hits or aspect. One is a Vedic Paddhati and one is a Western or a degree Paddhati. Correct? Okay. Now
Correct.
we had looked at this yellow screen from the Vedic Paddhati. So if I have to count from this house to this house, I had said I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is, this house is giving a fifth aspect or a drishti or a hit to this house. Okay, I'm just adding the word hit or aspect now. So this
Hmm.
house is giving a fifth aspect to this house. Barabar? Shankar,
Okay.
are you understanding?
Yes, 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 yes.
This house, the one, two, three, third hit to this house or the third aspect. Let's call it aspect just. Aspect is a hit. Throw. Let's say somebody is throwing a ball from here to here. What is the potency of the ball? One, two, three, four, five. If somebody is throwing a ball from here to here, what is the potency? One, two, three. It's like counting. Okay. So this house is giving a fifth aspect to this house. This house is giving a third aspect to this house. This house is giving a fourth aspect to this house. Okay. So this is counting. Shankar, you understood?
Okay.
Counting from a Vedic point of view. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
you count from the degree point of view, the same thing will be a 30, 60, 90, 120 hit. So this guy is giving a 120-degree aspect to this house. So this is a Western way of counting and this is a Vedic way of counting. The yellow
Okay.
line is basically the Vedic way. The red is degrees like that. So the same thing what I put over here now. Okay, this is the degree thing. The red one which we are taking, 30, 60, 90 degree.
Okay.
You can count this way also. In the aspect thing, if you look at it from the Vedic Paddhati, you get this. See, if you remember on day one, I told you in Astro Vastu, many people only follow the degree thing. Okay, this guy is going to shut in 10 minutes. You need to come back. If you remember yesterday, I told you that most people in Astro Vastu only follow the degree, Western aspect. And I also add the Vedic aspect to it. If you remember yesterday, I said that. I don't know whether you remember. So basically, what happens is this finally Vedic astrology is the mother of all astrology. So you have to respect that also. So basically, I consider this also, and I've got good results from this. So when you count this way and you get from the degree method, you can also cross check it here by the Vedic Paddhati. Shankar, are you clear on that?
Yeah, yeah. But we need to memorize these things. Actually, Mars only giving 4, 7, 8 aspects.
You have to all have 7. Mars has got an additional of 4 and 8. Jupiter has got 5 and 9. And Saturn has got 3 and 10. How I remember, I tell you. Pardon me if it's too childish. But Mars, you hit a 4, na? In cricket, 4, patak karke marte, na? So Mars. So
Correct.
the 4 comes here. 4
Hmm.
and 8. 4 to the 8. So 4 and 8 for some reason is set in my head. Because Mars, if you remember, 8 is also, I told you yesterday, Mars is on the bum. You get a patka on the bum. So this is a rotated bum. So Mar in Hindi means hit. I hope you know that. So you hit a 4 or you get hit on the bum. That's how I remember this when I started off. J has that stroke like that stroke, vertical stroke, which is also stroke in 5 and which is also stroke in 9. You understand? So J5, 9, that is how I remember. Saturn, like I told you, Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks like a weekend to me. So Sat, as in Saturday. So 3 comes into play. And 7, since it's common, 3, plus 7 is 10. So you have to memorize this. If you are asking me, I'm telling you, you need to
Okay.
memorize this.
Oh, okay.
So
So
see,
these aspects only for 3 planets: Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn.
these are additional. See, read my first line.
Okay.
All planets have 7th aspect.
Okay.
Mars, Jupiter, Saturn have additional drishti. They have a special
Okay.
aspect. Okay. So
Okay. Apart from this. Okay.
if you just imagine a chart in front of you, okay, or you look at me as if you talk of any planet, let's say Venus. Venus is situated in first house. It will have a drishti or aspect on the seventh house only. If you look at
Okay.
Mercury, if Mercury is the first house, it will have a aspect on seventh house only. But if Mars is situated in first house, it will have an aspect on the fourth house, seventh house, and eighth house. Boom, like
8,000.
like a Trishul. Okay. It need not have
Okay.
an all three at the same time. It does a, so basically, suppose I'll give you an example. It's little advanced thing, but let us say a planet is seated in the first house. Okay. And you feel like it is affecting the planet in the fourth house, okay, which you learn tomorrow how the planets are affecting each other. So if you feel this planet in the first house is affecting the planet in the fourth house, you have to first of all see what planet it is. If it is Venus or it is Mercury, okay, or it is Sun or it is Moon or it is, it is not going to affect because it doesn't have a fourth drishti. Which has a fourth drishti? Mars has a fourth drishti. So if that planet is Mars, then it will surely be affecting 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand, Shankar?
Yes, yes, I got your point, sir.
So as of now, since we are taking baby steps, you have to memorize it. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. And these two things you have to memorize. When you talk of 60 or 120, a plus should come in front of it. 90 or 180, a minus should come in front of it. That is all. Are you clear? Okay.
Yes, 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 sir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now
Yeah.
we have got actually 5 minutes left, but I will start the next one. Okay. So planet will get activated in its maps. Maps means Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, Sukshma Dasha. Example of Dasha is shown ahead. Basically, what we are looking at now is called as a Dasha system. Dasha is basically a period. Okay. So how is this shown? I have made a little diagram to explain to you. 1 minute, please. Sorry. Okay. So can you see this diagram which I put over here? This line over here. Okay. Now just try to understand what is this dasha. There are various types of dasha. The most popular one is called as a Vimshotri dasha. Okay, it's called as a Vimshotri dasha. Now in a Vimshotri dasha, what is presumed is that a human will live to a maximum of 120 years. Okay. And the 9 planets which are there, okay, have been distributed ownership over certain number of years in a disproportionate manner. That's why you see the streaks going big and small, big and small. So basically, this I have written NTS. NTS means not to scale. So don't catch me on this. Why is this so small and this big? It is just a graphical demonstration for you to understand. So basically, Vimshotri Dasha is from 0 when that person is born till 120, which if at all he lives that much, he is going to pass through these phases. Each phase is given an ownership to one planet. So the basic division over here, Ketu has been given 7 years. Okay, so suppose he starts off with a Ketu Dasha, he will be under the influence of Ketu for 7 years. Venus has been given a span of 20 years. Sun has been given a span of 6 years. So on and so forth. If you see this and you total it up, it will come to 120 years. Okay. The same thing in your chart, when you start reading your chart in the thing, is shown this way. If you can see here, basically MAPS, Mahadasha, which is the, I'll explain to you what is Mahaantar Pratyanta, but basically Mahadasha, which is the biggest Dasha, within that is an Antardasha, within that is a Pratyanta Dasha, within that is a Sukshma Dasha. Okay. You've got 3 minutes left, so let me first explain to you this way. If you want to come on the screen, all of you can come on the screen. Look at Dasha as a hierarchical system, or rather this way, okay, hierarchical system. So let us say, I'm not very good at politics, so don't catch me on that. Let's say you got a prime minister, you got so many chief ministers. Okay, so let's say you got a prime minister, and let's say for discussion sake, you've got 10 chief ministers. Each chief minister has got, let's say, 3 or 4 deputy ministers or 10 deputy ministers. Each deputy minister has got, let's say, a commissioner under him. Do you understand? Basically the prongs keep opening up. So your Mahadasha is like one big blanket. In the big blanket, there are so many smaller blankets. Within each smaller blanket are further smaller tents. Within each tent are smaller umbrellas. Now, each of these tents or umbrellas or whatever is a planet. Always remember, don't get scared when you hear big words. It always invariably boils down to a planet. So, a dasha of a Ketu, let us say, the boss of that is who? Ketu. Under Ketu, all the 9 guys will come again, right from Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, all of them, 9 of them will come over there. So in a Ketu Mahadasha, you will have a Ketu Antardasha, Venus, Sun, Mars, everything, all of them will come like merry-go-round. Then you go further down, in a Ketu, इसमें केतु का अंतरदशा के अंदर again 9 प्रति अंतरदशाs will come. So you understand, it keeps opening up, opening up, opening up, opening up. And that tree, then all those trees will happen. They are like roots, like a taproot. Not like a taproot, what is the other root? I don't remember. Those roots which keep spreading. Are you understanding? So when you talk of a dasha, within the dasha, you will have an antardasha. So you are passing through that. No? So you are going to be passing through a sukshma dasha. Uske upar is a prati antardasha. On top of that is the antardasha. On top of that is the mahadasha. Okay, we are going to switch off in a minute, so I don't want to take anything more detail just now. When we come back, I'll explain this in further detail. Anyone has any questions over here, you can quickly cite the question at least. Okay, anyway, don't worry. Once we come back again, I'll explain.
This was not given in the PPT.
It is there. It is there. It is surely there. Just now what I showed you, on day number 2, I think it is the 3rd or 4th slide. Just see it there. It's a black and white sheet with one colored strip on top.
नहीं
One. We'll come back on it. No, it's surely there, but one. Once we come back, I'll show you.